Hola, ¿cómo está? Muy estudiantos. I don't know if that was Spanish or not, but hey, welcome back, everybody. I want to finish up some Greece stuff here. Um, First off, with finishing up number 4, social question about the political systems in Athens and how they help to protect the poorer classes of people. So, first off, the political system. Remember, with all of the reforms made by Solon and Cleisthenes, and then under the greatness of Pericles, as Athens reaches its highest level of democracy and involvement in that, you had government positions now became paid. Prior to all these reforms, if you served in the government, you weren't paid for it. So those people that were poor had to be working, and therefore, it almost excluded them without even really having to pass a law. So they made sure that all government positions were paid. They had legislative bodies that were made up of entirely just the poorer classes, kind of like how we have a Senate and a House of Representatives. They had 2 legislative bodies, one that was more of the upper class and one that was more of the lower class, and each of them were equal. They provided trial by juries, so that, and most of the jury members were normally fairly poor or, normal citizens, and so as people went to court, they would go down into Athens, and people would get paid for sitting in on juries, and they would listen to the cases, and then they would vote, and it was kind of like their civic duty, but they almost, went down there as like a thing to do, kind of. It was limited democracy, though, because remember, only the males could vote, and ensured that the voting districts would be set up fairly and politically and economically. Now, with that, I take you to there we go. All right. So with this, we talk about if you think of this as being Athens, through here, all the colors, that's Athens, and then the Adriatic and Aegean seas are in the blue. And what Cleisthenes did is that he split up Athens into 2 parts, and those 2 parts were regards to democracy in Athens, to make sure that no one section of Athens got more powerful because it was a good trading center and they brought in lots of money, or because it was a good farming land, or a good part of the city. What they did was they broke it up into 30 called trities, and each trity on the inland, on the outside, and a part of the city made up to 10 tribes. All right. So each tribe consisted of a part of the city, a part of the coastal area, and a part of the this won't let me show the cursor over here. Perfect. But I'm sorry. So anyways, so you had these 10 tribes, all right? And what they did was that if you had if number 3 was a very good coastal city and lots of trade came through there, maybe they didn't give such a good part of the city of Athens, and then maybe the farmland was okay. So it was kind of a balance. For like number 10, tribe number 10, maybe the coast wasn't a very good place for trading. However, the city was an excellent place for business and politics and that, and then the farmland was maybe okay. And then maybe tribe number 1 was an excellent place for farming, a decent city, and maybe a poor part of the town. So everything kind of balanced out. And that way, no one tribe would ever gain power over the others economically, politically, and kind of seize power from the other tribes. It made things fair. All right. So that was a super, super important thing. I recommend copying this down. There will be this part on the test. I will have you draw this out. You don't have to put the colors or anything on there, but you will have to demonstrate this on the test. So make sure you take a note of this. Now, to get back to our notes here, I want to step into the this first for the social system in Athens. To finish this up, democracy helped the lower classes because it abolished slavery as a result of debt to all Athenian citizens, eliminated the idea that social classes were a result of birth, and made it just based on wealth and a person's own hard work. And then finally, remember that practice of hectomore, to where that idea of sharecropping and people falling into debt, that practice was terminated in Greece so that people would be treated more fairly in their business deals with the rich and the poor. All right, so there's that. Next, I'm going to talk real quick about the Persian Wars. Now, we've covered a lot about them, but remember, Persia was the major empire in the Middle East at the time, and think of it this way. Think of like the United States attacking like Costa Rica. This is essentially what it is. And Athens being Costa Rica, there were these city-states. And the one thing about Greeks was that they colonized all over the place. And as we're looking at this, you can see all of these red dots over here are Greek colonies. And these are going to be revolts that they have against Persia because they're under Persian control and they don't like it. And so they ask Athens for help. Athens comes back and says, no problem, even though, again, it's like Costa Rica, size-wise, militarily-wise. And it upsets Darius, the Persian emperor. And so he comes over to punish Athens. And the first battle is at the Battle of Marathon. Battle of Marathon, the Athens and the hoplite soldiers have a big win. To get the message back, what happens is the Persians, once they get beat on land, get in their ships and they're going to go back to Athens and go directly there. And so what happens is that the Greek messenger runs 26.2 miles, hence our modern-day marathon distance, to warn that the Persians are attacking by sea. Rumor has it, I don't know if it's true or not, but that he drops dead upon delivering the information. So Athens gets ready, so then Persia comes down there and sees that Athens is ready for them, so they take off. Well, Darius dies, his son Xerxes takes over, and he wants revenge. So he gets this huge, massive army. They go down towards Greece again, and they run through the Greek peninsula and are terrorizing all types of Greeks and that kind of stuff. So Athens knows that they can't handle this alone, so they go to Sparta. Sparta agrees to send soldiers, and while they're there, they think that the best place that they can handle this huge army is at this narrow mountain pass called Thermopylae, where the huge army has to kind of get into this bottleneck. They get betrayed, so the next thing you know, by a Greek who goes over to the Persians and tells them about a secret pass, and the Greeks know that there's no way to win it, but they need time to get back to Athens to empty the city, so 300 Spartans stay and hold them off for like a week. It's crazy, but like those 300 kill an estimated of what some historians think of like 20,000 Persian soldiers. All right. So, but it gives them time. They get back and they empty the city and they get into the boats. And Persia finally arrives at Athens and they burn Athens. And then they go out and they see that, you know, the Athenians are in their ships. They go out after them. the Athenians beat them in the ships, trick them, and that is the last of the Persian Wars. So that is what happens in the Persian Wars. They are never to return again. So, but that'll lead us into our next discussion regarding the Delian League. Alrighty, good talk. Talk to you soon.